today with another review for you, and it's going to be Discopathe. I've been waiting to see this movie for a while, and I was expecting more of a giallo type film, but actually it's more like a retro slasher. And I know, all those terms that gets thrown around, slasher this, slasher that, but basically that's what it is. It takes place in 1976 New York. At least that's where it starts. And this guy is basically driven crazy by disco music. It's as simple as that. They explain why during the course of the movie, but I'm not going to get into that because I'll save something if you want to watch the movie. But it starts off in 76 New York, and then shortly after that, it jumps to Montreal, and he conveniently starts working at a all-girls Catholic school, which, is pretty convenient for a slasher film. And that's how this movie is. It tried to be dark in some parts, and it tried to be like a satire, retro slasher in other parts, and I had a little bit of giallo film in there. Not enough for me. That's what I was expecting, bright colors, disco music. It did start with a disco ball, the credit scene, which I had hoped for at the beginning, and there was some bright moments. The cops that are chasing them looked totally cheesy, though. They're wearing bad wigs, and one review I read, the guy said they look like the characters from Sabotage, the Beastie Boys video. And they do, basically, yeah. I mean, I can't argue with that. And towards the end, like I said, it gets dark. It does have some decent blood and gore. The effects are kind of crappy. But I would want to know what the budget on this film was, because they pulled off the 70s look pretty freaking good. They had all the cars and all that stuff. And those cars had to be expensive on a low budget. So that's one thing I'll give them definitely props for. And the only real thing I had a big gripe with this film, because I could understand the simple story, the retro slasher thing, the kind of, is it a horror movie? Is it a comedy? Is it, fantasy? But the thing that just took me completely out of it was the horribly bad acting. It was not charming bad acting. I don't know how to really phrase it. It was just bad acting, and it kind of just completely pulled me out of it. That combined, like I said, with some semi-shoddy gore effects. The two standout things about this movie were the ultra simplistic kind of cool concept of the story and the tone, obviously, but the soundtrack was pretty freaking cool. Even though by the end of the film, I thought it got a little overbearing, them just blaring that bass. And I understand, it was probably trying to be a little bit annoying with the disco music, because obviously it made the guy want to kill people, so I'm sure they kind of wanted you to, put you in his head, whatever. Maybe I'm thinking too much into it. But basically, they ended the film with that Kiss song, He Was Made for Loving You Baby, or whatever, I Was Made for Loving You Baby, and that part was kind of cool, because the chase scene involving that song, I thought was pretty freaking cool. So it did have a few standout moments. I like the concept, but overall, I'm only going to give Discopathe a 2.5 out of 5. That's right below you should watch it once. You should watch it once, actually, though, if you're a slasher fan, because I've been watching a lot of slasher movies lately, and it was kind of funny. I mean, it definitely, pays its respects to the slasher films. It did feel a little bit like the old school Maniac to me. So if you've seen Discopathe, let me know what you thought down below. What'd you think? Was it too stupid? Was it too simple? Was it too much of like a fantasy? I don't know. The ending I thought was actually pretty freaking cool. The way they just completely ended it.